Now, whenever discussing Donald Trump's legal entanglements, Democrats love to remind us that no one is above the law. Well, no one except Hunter Biden, Hillary Clinton, etc. Well, the Biden Justice Department is tying itself into knots now, trying to cover for him. But when it comes to the Hunter probe, someone, as I said in the segment with Charlie and Molly, is lying. Now, with credible whistleblowers testifying to interference in the Hunter Biden investigation, Attorney General Merrick Garland has some real explaining to do. Today on Capitol Hill, Speaker McCarthy said he didn't have a desire to target Garland. The AG may be leaving him, though, no choice.
The only thing I've ever said, when you have watched an attorney general say one thing to Congress and David Weiss, a prosecutor, say something else privately, the entire country realizes that is raising to a level that can be an impeachment inquiry.
Joining us now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds and former Deputy Independent Counsel Saul Weisenberg. Congressman, let's start with you. Do you think Attorney General Garland has committed an impeachable offense?
I think he has. And let's be very clear. You can't have the investigative arm of the IRS doing its job, wanting to bring felony charges, but then somehow with the political brass at the IRS and the political brass at the Department of Justice, it all gets slow-walked. It all gets tamped down. They can't go get the necessary search warrants. They can't interview the right people. Some of the stuff that came out is they couldn't even pursue any use of the word Biden in some of their questioning. Like, this is how ridiculous this is. And so for the Attorney General to not know, and to also add to this, the Chief of Staff to the Attorney General not to know what's going on, makes no sense at all.
Well, not knowing would be ignorance, but would it be an impeachable offense? You would have to say that he's lying before Congress.
Yes, if he knew this, well, even if he didn't talk about it in front of Congress, if he used the power of his office to slow walk and to obstruct these investigations, that is an impeachable offense, 100%.
Now, Saul, you think that the first step should be having the AG and perhaps the U.S. Attorney Weiss testify before Congress? So if that's the case, what do you think is the most important question for each to have to answer?
They can do this if they can just not grandstand and screw it up, Laura. They need to bring three people in. They need to bring David Weiss in, the U.S. Attorney from Delaware. They need to bring the Attorney General in. And they need to bring in the person who's probably in the thick of this, and we haven't heard anything from her. That's Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco. The Deputy Attorney General runs the Department of Justice on a day-to-day basis. I can guarantee you that if David Weiss didn't pick up the phone to talk to Merrick Garland, it would have been in all likelihood Lisa Monaco. And the first thing I would ask, there's so many questions to ask, the first thing I would ask Weiss is, were you commissioned as a special attorney? This special attorney they keep talking about that has the right to bring a case in any district without getting permission, you actually have to be designated and commissioned. Now, A.G. Garland says he had the authority from the beginning to do anything he wanted to. He had more authority than a special counsel because he was a special attorney. Well, when were you commissioned? Do you even now have a commission? It looks like from his last letter that he did not have a commission. Were you telling, here's a very simple thing that he hasn't spoken to. Did you tell the agents that you had gone to the D.C. U.S. Attorney, Matthew Graves, and that he had declined to let you bring charges, or to use Weiss's terminology, declined to partner with you? Did the same thing happen in California? They can't say we can't talk about it because they've already gone out and explained what authority they had and didn't have.
And
these
what
are
simple
really concrete questions.
And what simple question quickly to Garland?
Simple question to Garland is it's the same question. Did you sign a commission? You say he had the authority. Did you think
did he actually sign it?
You could do it orally? Yeah. So it's
all right, Congressman. The letter that
simple.
Weiss sent to Senator Graham, noting this ongoing investigation we keep talking about. Here's how MSNBC spun this. Watch.
Was he saying that flat out, that this was not politically interfered by Garland, nobody from the administration? He went where he needed to go. He charged what he thought he could charge. And that this deal that he made, this plea deal, is not a sweetheart deal, as Republicans and this whistleblower are alleging, Ken?
Well, we'd all like him to be that candid. He's constrained because the investigation remains open, so he's not saying all those things.
Here we go again, Congressman. The investigation is ongoing, or you can't say it's because things aren't true? Which is it?
Well, first of all, it is a sweetheart deal because any other American would have been charged with a felony crime. Even the whistleblower who was the head of the supervisory unit doing the investigation said, yeah, we wanted to bring felony charges, but we were stopped because David Weiss couldn't bring those charges and we weren't allowed to do any further
investigations. But what is this ongoing investigation? This is what we don't know who's conducting it. We don't know if it's of the president. Then there has to be a special counsel appointed. You can't have the Justice Department investigating the president.
In my view, what you have here is this is the stonewalling effect by the political arms of the Department of Justice and in some respects the FBI as well. If it's always under investigation,
right,
I never have to get to an endpoint until it's too late. That's how the statute of limitations expired under Hunter Biden with the other money. Just keep it going and keep turning.
So I'd like you to chime in on that. We don't really know anything about this continuing investigation, do we?
Oh, I don't think we don't, and I don't think there's any kind of a serious continuing investigation. And what a farce if it's being handled by David Weiss. But let me just make something really clear. Forget about anything else about the bribery allegations. I'm going to tell you, as a white-collar defense attorney for the past 20 years who's handled a lot of tax cases, what you need to change a misdemeanor into a felony is an affirmative act of concealment. And the record is already from the whistleblowers abundant in that. Let me give you a hint. If you take your girlfriend to a sex club and then expense that as a business expense, that's a classic affirmative act of concealment. If you lie to your attorney who asks you questions about why you did this on your taxes, that's an affirmative act of concealment. It's not even close.
Pretty obvious here. Congressman and Saul, great to see you both. Thank you.